one of the things that I said to the CNN crew when they were interviewing me the other day, my thinking was, I want the guy who breaks stuff. And the way I framed it for them is that your opinion of whether it's safe or unsafe to have a demolition expert as a president is really related to your confidence about American, I guess, capability and let's say, well, what would be, I guess American innovation, American flexibility, American creativity, American, I think it's just attitude and resilience. Resilience, thank you. I felt like I was searching for that word and you gave it to me. So here's the thing. If you're a person who feels at risk and you are nervous and insecure, not only about your own life, but about the system that you're in, if you're that sort of person, you probably do not want anyone to come in and start breaking stuff. Because, at least you're alive, and if stuff gets broken, it could be dangerous to you. So if you have a low confidence in the ability of Americans to deal with change, then you probably did not want a President Trump, because that's scary, because he was definitely going to bring change. If, however, your attitude is like mine, which is I've watched, 200 plus however many years of American ingenuity and American resilience, if you will, and American ability to deal with change. Let me put it this way. Name a country that deals with change better than we do. I dare you. We're really good at this shit. When stuff breaks, how good are we at fixing it? Really, really good. We're good at fixing stuff. Yeah, Iraq would be a counterexample, maybe. But so the point is, yeah, I think breaking other countries is slightly different than breaking our own stuff. We're better at fixing our own stuff. When we break other people's stuff, we're not so good at fixing it. You're right about that. But that has to do with how much control can you have over another country. So I think the dividing point between Trump supporters and anti-Trumpers is confidence. All right? If you are confident that the United States can fix anything that gets broken and make it better than it was before, then you say, yeah, bring in the demolition expert. Have him break the stuff that's hard to break, because that's the hard part. We know how to fix stuff. We're pretty good at improving stuff. Now let's take a look at. Now watch me blow your mind. All right. Now look at healthcare. What is the most important step that you need to do to fix healthcare? Go answer that question. What's the most important step to fix this massively bad healthcare? Break it. Yeah, you have to demolition first, right? You can't build a new building on top of an old building. You gotta demolish it first. What is President Trump doing by letting Congress take the lead on fixing healthcare? Breaking it. He's breaking it, and he said that explicitly. He's got tools to break Obamacare. Now, in this case, the people who are at risk, the people who feel they could lose their health coverage and stuff, are absolutely justifiably scared to death. Okay, I don't want to minimize even a slight bit how afraid these people are, and that they genuinely have a legitimate thing to be afraid of. But you should also be afraid if you're part of a system that can't survive. In other words, if you're part of a system that's mortally wounded, you still have to change. Right? So change is inevitable. So once everybody understands that and really gets how broken it is, that gives him options for constructing something better. So anyway, so that's let me just summarize that. The major reframing here is that the anti-Trumpers are afraid of change, not just the specific change that he has in mind, and in many cases they have legitimate reasons to dislike that, but change in general. They're people who feel at risk. They're the people who are not confident that the country can handle a change and come out better. They think change means worse. And the Trumpers are largely optimists. They're optimists who think, yeah, if you'll break it for us, Mr. President, if you'll do the hard part, if you'll break this thing for us, we'll help you fix it, make it a better thing. So that's what I see in all the Trumpers. I see this sort of unstoppable optimism that if you break it, yeah, we can fix it. We can do better than fix it. We can make it better. We're thinking big over here. Let me test that on you. Would you say it is generally true that Trump supporters are optimists and the anti-Trumpers are either pessimists and or they just are less confident that things will go well? But for those of you who disagree with that framing, just watch the other comments and see how widely agreeable that idea is, that Trump supporters are optimists by nature, and they're saying if you'll just break the stuff that needs to be broken, America can figure out how to fix it. We're really, really, really good at fixing stuff. We're not as good at breaking stuff, but we're really good at that too. Sometimes you just need a little help breaking things. Trump voters voted for more risk because it gave them more change, and they were confident that they could deal with that risk. But it is not irrational to fear that risk, to fear change. Not irrational at all. So one of the reasons I think that healthcare is stuck is that everyone's thinking too small. So in other words, the Republicans are thinking, on a scale of 1 to 10, we'd like to come out with a 7. Here I'm just speaking real abstractly. Whereas the Democrats are saying, no, we want to spend more money and get from a 7 out of 10 on healthcare to let's say a 9 out of 10. That's where we want to go. Want to spend more money. Now the Republicans are in charge and they're trying to sell their 7 out of 10, while the other side is saying, no, we'll give you 9 out of 10. It's a losing argument. Right? You can't get there from here. And no matter how hard we try, we probably can't get there from here. The winning argument is to go higher than 10. You have to break the frame. So here's an example of a winning argument. You say healthcare will be every country's biggest military challenge. It's a military challenge because healthcare is going to suck the money out of your society by the natural growth of expenses and the natural aging of your population. That healthcare will suck your resources out of your military. It will suck the resources out of your economy and make you a weak country. So for long-term economic and military strength, you need to get not just healthcare right, not just adequate. The right answer is that we should have a substantially better and cheaper healthcare situation in the United States than any other country. Right? The reason that we're failing to come up with some kind of compromise is that everybody's in the box that won't work. You can't get out of that box if the side in power wants to provide a worse healthcare option than the opposition. You just sort of can't get there from here. You've got to say, no, we want to do way better than the Democratic plan. The only way you get there is by way cheaper, way better, all hands on deck. This healthcare stuff is not the small issue. Long term, it's the major issue, because otherwise it will take down your whole economy. And so you got to figure out how to use technology and innovation, change the rules, get out of the box, shake the box a little bit, test some things, do a little A/B testing, have some maybe healthcare enterprise zones, test some things, and just make it a big frickin' deal to take our healthcare system from somewhere middle of the pack to essentially, let me frame it this way: the American healthcare system should be as strong compared to other systems as the American military system is compared to other systems, meaning overwhelming advantage. If you're thinking about barely patching up Obamacare, what kind of lack of confidence, what kind of short-sighted small thinking is that? The only goal that is worthy of this country, if we really want to be the country that we've been for 200 years plus, is to shoot for a healthcare system that is a level or two above the next best system in the world. Think about this. Suppose instead of saying, oh, how are we going to tax you more to pay for our rising healthcare costs? Suppose we said, we're going to be the medical technology leader of the world the way we are a military leader. That much of an advantage. That's what we need. And part of that advantage is bringing down costs.